All right, well, let's get at it. It's an intimate group here. No sense in me regurgitating the weekend other than tell you after watching games back, Friday night's game, I thought there was, some key moments in the game that cost us the chance to win the game, as has been the case this season, and we lost them, whether it was a special teams play, whether it's, the go-ahead goal and giving one up 8 seconds later, how those things played out, and, we couldn't make the play to win the game. The second night was a game that I know frustrated me a lot, and having the next morning to kind of calm down and go back and watch, my assessment would be for a lot of the game we played pretty well. The frustration was caused by really a couple things. A lack of execution, especially in what frustrated me was the lack of execution in simplistic situations that we've done a million times and we didn't execute, which cost us. Number two is probably a buildup of us having some pretty glorious opportunities that we didn't give the puck a chance to go in the net because it was nowhere around the net. I've been using the term hit the goalie as opposed to hit the net. Like, hit the goalie. At least if you hit the goalie, it gives the puck a chance to remain in play, and if you're trying to hit the goalie, oftentimes you'll miss what you're shooting at. And maybe it'll find its way in the net. But that was a real root of frustration for me, and I thought for our team too, because we had, 6 grade A prime opportunities that we walked away with not even a shot on goal, and that's been a problem for us all season long. And special teams again. Their special teams beat our special teams. We gave up a power play goal Saturday night, and our power play had opportunities to either get us in the game or build some momentum, and it didn't. And so, we'll be continuing to spend time in those areas to make improvements. So, Ohio State, obviously, we played them just a couple weeks ago. We know what to expect. They know what to expect from us. I watched them play against Michigan. Saturday night, they were flat. They just flat out were flat. And, they'll come off that game real hungry, so we're going to have to be ready to play when that puck drops on Friday night. Our schedule for the week, we'll practice here on Thursday and then hop on the bus after practice and head there. We'll skate in Columbus on Friday morning and play from there. So what you got?
When you look at your tape against Ohio State from 2 weeks ago, what little things in that game do you sense that could have turned it around? Instead of 1-goal losses, you could turn them into 1 or 2-goal victories?
Well, I keep going back to defending, and off the top of my head, I don't remember all the goals because I've been watching more of this past week's stuff that they had against Michigan and even a summary of our Penn State stuff. But, special teams can swing games either way, and it doesn't have to necessarily mean because of a goal scored or a goal prevented, but the momentum thereof. So you go out sometimes for a special team situation, and like last weekend, I thought we allowed, and some players in particular, allowed their game to be affected by getting a little frustrated because, at the end of the game, the frustration built to a level where we had a 4-on-3, and we're fumbling the puck, so you could see the level of frustration, and I was included in that. I felt the frustration. I think we have to do a better job of, and I've been saying this all year long, but getting pucks in play around the goal. So it doesn't have to be a hard shot. It doesn't have to be a shot for a goal. It needs to be a shot put in play so you have opportunities to get rebounds and get deflections. And look at some of the goals that we've given up that were deflected pucks. So against Penn State, you talk about that double deflection that ends up, that was the winning goal, but it happened in front of the net. And it was an innocent, initial shot, or the other one that tied it. Same type of situation. Ohio State, think about the power play goal they got. Well, technically it wasn't, but it was late in the power play, where the puck was going wide and it was just redirected and ends up going in the net. So we're not getting enough of those goals, and frankly, we're not generating enough of those chances to increase our probability to score those goals. And as hard as we might, we keep emphasizing to our team how important that is to get pucks there. And it needs to be more of a forethought that if I don't have a play, this is an option for me to just get it there. And then get bodies there. That's the other thing. We did talk about, I think I shared at the radio show last night, the drive-by, or the drive-through. We're not parking in the right area enough to create the traffic, create the danger, create the opportunity to get closer to loose pucks in that primary scoring area. That's where most goals are scored, in that primary area. And we've got to make a bigger commitment to get there.
Coach, there's only a handful of games left. Looking at day one of practice, or the first exhibition game against Toronto, how has the freshman kind of developed in a noteworthy sense and a positive sense as the games kind of wind down here?
Well, I think the freshmen have evolved pretty much as we would have hoped and probably expected. I think over the course of time, you've seen guys gain experience, you've seen guys gain confidence, seen guys grow their roles, and it's a hard-working group. It's a group with good chemistry. They want to win bad, and so we've been overall pretty happy with the growth of that freshman class as a whole. And when I look at it, not to single out too many guys, but a guy like Saliba is playing a bigger and bigger role, and I think he's showing some poise, and he's gaining some confidence, and he's getting the puck in front of the net now, and he's getting opportunities. And I think as the game slows down, more of those opportunities are going to go in the net. But he's making good decisions. I think that's a natural next step. Hirosi's been an important player for us in all situations all year long. And I think that's one of the things that I worry about with the freshman group is we need them, as well as everybody, playing their best right now. And this is that time of year where obviously the season has been a challenging one mentally, and yet it's the most important time of year. So in many ways, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It only matters what happens next game and going down the stretch here. And we need those guys to step up and play at their best. And so we're trying to find ways to keep guys fresh, everybody on the team. And we have to be conscious of the fact that, we have 10 freshmen on the team, and they've been here since July. So they've been here a couple months longer than the rest of the guys. And so, we're trying to keep that in mind, too, as we're keeping things fresh. But I think overall they've done a good job, and they've, to date, met the expectations we had for them.
So, Coach, I haven't been here in a while, but I got a goalie question for you.
All right. Kind of missing that.
John Lethemon, he started 4 games, same amount as many in February. What kind of growth have you seen from him, and how has confidence grown over, especially in the month of February?
Lots. I've seen lots of growth in him, and I think that the biggest area is in confidence. You could see it in his positioning in the net. You can see him in kind of owning his goal crease area. You could see it in a calmness in making saves. I don't think he's where he's going to be yet by any means, but I think he's made some big steps, and he's kind of rising to the challenge of having a competition in net to compete for playing time. And you could see his confidence not just growing when he's playing, but it's growing every day in practice. So I think that's a positive thing.
Another freshman, Tom, that we haven't really discussed a lot this year, but he's played a lot of games, and it's Mitch Elliott. How do you see his development from this time he came in as a 19-year-old in October into where he is now?
I think he's grown as much as probably any player on our team over the course of the year. I think at the beginning of the season, I thought things were really happening pretty fast, and he was out there competing hard. Like he's got a very good compete. He adds a physical element to our team back there, and he likes it. He's adjusting to what we're asking him to do. We play a different kind of defensive zone coverage than he's used to playing, so I think he and probably other guys are taking time to adjust to that. And, adjusting, as you know, as a defenseman at this level, that's a hard thing to do. At the pace of the game, the speed of the decisions, the physicality, and he's a young freshman. He's a true freshman, so he's playing against some guys. Last weekend, some guys were 24 years old. One guy was turning 25 this week. So that's asking a lot. But I really think his game has grown a lot, and I think he's developing more poise with the puck. I think he'll get better and better in his decisions with the puck and his puck movement. Defending-wise, I think he's really grown a lot and doing a good job. So, I'm every bit as excited about him as we were when he committed to coming here. I think he's going to be a really good player at this level. The other thing that he has that, it's hard to show up as a freshman, but he's got leadership potential too. Yeah, I think he really, he's a hockey player. He really thinks about the game. He cares about the game. He's got a strong background in the game, and he's one of those guys. He's very coachable, and yet he'll ask really good questions that are good for us too to make sure we're thinking and we're providing good answers. And he provides good feedback too if there's things that, like yesterday, he came in to talk to me and talked about maybe some confusion as to not so much how something was presented, but maybe how it's prioritized in a new guy's mind, which I think was really thoughtful, and gives us an opportunity to kind of address some things that might provide some clarity. So he's had a very, very good season to me so far, and a big part of it is where he came from. The beginning of the season, I'm thinking, he might be a player that's going to be in and out of the lineup. And we stayed with him during the course of the first several weeks, and you saw him then finally start taking some big steps, and he's getting more and more playing time, and he's earned that.